Welcome back. A student severely beaten, a vice principal stabbed. Those are just a few examples of some recent violence playing out at Massachusetts schools.
The NBC10 investigators have been digging into those cases. Kathy Curran joins us with the challenges facing schools and what needs to be done to keep kids safe.
She had grabbed my hair and threw me onto the ground.
An 8th grade student severely beaten.
Dragged me by the hair, kicking me in the face.
And fearing for her life.
I felt like I was gonna die.
This 13-year-old says a fellow student chased her down the street from Boston's Condon School and attacked her in March. She suffered a broken rib, cuts, and bruises, now scarred physically and emotionally.
Mentally, it traumatized me. Like, I couldn't sleep for a while because I kept getting flashbacks.
How would you describe the school environment?
Not very safe.
Her beating and other violence at the school have been glorified on social media. The teen says she told school staff she was being bullied, but the school didn't do anything to protect her. Superintendent Mary Skipper tells us they continuously work to create a safe environment, and the safety and well-being of our young people is our highest priority, and violence of any kind is unacceptable.
It was heartbreaking as a parent to see that this child of yours was just brutally beaten. Every child that walks through those doors should feel safe to be at school, not worried about what's lurking around the corner.
Violence also in the spotlight at Boston Tech, where a student was stabbed. In Lynn, an assistant principal was stabbed, and multiple brawls in Brockton. The state's discipline data for the largest school districts in Massachusetts shows the percentage of students being disciplined has dropped in recent years. Last year, Brockton had the highest.
We did create an in-house suspension program for some students who needed some redirection. And so those little pieces have really added to trying to clean up the culture of the building.
Kevin McCaskill stepped in as principal at Brockton High in January. After a spike in violence months ago, there were calls from some in the community to bring in the National Guard to restore the peace.
We're looking for support with the National Guard to come in.
Somebody's going to get seriously injured or, God forbid, killed.
And that's something I think was a rallying point for the school.
School police make the rounds on campus. Everyone passes through metal detectors before stepping foot in the building. IDs are scanned and more security has been added. McCaskill and his staff have also increased their presence in the halls and worked to build relationships with students here.
All right.
One of the biggest challenges is the lack of staff, leaving many kids hanging in a supervised study hall in the CAF.
It's a huge issue, and when you're sitting in a cafeteria for 2 and 3 periods at a time, that's not engagement.
Each school has its own challenges at a time when many students are struggling with their social and emotional health. And experts say peer pressure, the pandemic, video games, and social media are having a huge impact on the behavior we're seeing in our schools.
So we're going to talk a little bit about bullying, fighting the differences.
Dr. Megan McCoy from the Massachusetts Aggression Reduction Center visits schools across the state on a mission to help kids navigate the complex world of social media, relationships, and to prevent violence.
What I have heard from teachers and in schools and administrators is kids just don't know how to get along, and it leads to more aggression and more violence. One of the big things that I'm coming back to over and over again is times where we can provide kids face-to-face opportunities that don't have anything to do with their phone or their social media.
And some schools are starting to ban cell phones to try to help. Next year, Brockton High students will lock their phones in pouches during school hours. Some Boston schools already do that. Kathy Curran, NBC10 Investigators.